Hey there, my name is Michael Greenwood. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to double your income. So I'm going to get stuck in with Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, which I've kind of replicated in a really raw fashion here. So Robert Kiyosaki says, if you want to get rich, if you want to have financial freedom, then you want to work on the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant. And if you're not so money orientated, I suppose, and you're happy to stay poor, then you can be an employee or self-employed. Now, the distinction that Kiyosaki makes about self-employment and business owner, and I think these are often confused, is that a self-employed person will tend to just create another job for themselves, and they're giving up one boss for 5 or 10 bosses, and then they end up working twice as long in terms of hours. And it can be one big headache. Not necessarily the case all the time, but you can see how that scenario might pan out. So just a quick caveat then. So I'm not saying which one would be better for you. Just make your own mind up on that. I'm just giving you some information here. But yeah, Robert Kiyosaki says that business owner, like a true business owner, somebody will use leverage over people's time, over people's money, like the bank's money, investors' monies, all that kind of thing. And they will basically look to work on the business and, kind of delegate out on the low leverage activities, so the business owner can work on the high leverage, actually building the business, working on the business activities, and then take the cash flow and put it into income producing assets and be both a business owner and an investor. And then one day even just become an investor. Or you can be a business owner and an investor but not an employee. Business owner employs employees, and a business owner is not self-employed. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. As an employee, it's going to be low leverage or no leverage. You're only going to earn while you're working the hours. You don't own part of the thing. You don't have equity in it. You can have equity in it as an employee, but then you're also an investor, so you'll be an employee and an investor in the company that you work for. So yeah, you can do all these 4 things at the same time, or you can just do a couple of them. You can be an employee and an investor. You can even be self-employed and a business owner, but that'd be in 2 different businesses. So maybe you're a self-employed consultant, and then you're selling your time for money, even though you're selling it for a lot of money. You might be, and then you might have a business owner where you've got a business which you're growing, and you've got staff or plans to have staff. The point is, with business, you're actually creating systems and processes so you can potentially one day take yourself out of it and you can build your business to sell it. So really, from this quadrant, employee is the thing where you're selling your time for money. You've only got so much time, and you can go to your boss and say, can I have a pay rise? But you can't really go to your boss and say, in this current job, can I have a 50% pay rise because we just made you 50% more in terms of the revenue or whatever. They're just going to say no. So you can potentially get a big jump pay rise if you move to another company, so if you jump ship. But again, the way that it works in the UK is if you're on 30, 35, 40 grand, you'll be taxed less. But then if you're on like 100 grand, you'll be taxed more. So the way that it seems to work is, if you're an employee, it's almost like they're pushing you to the middle. So everybody's almost on like, not a similar wage, but it kind of sometimes feels like that. So you get a pay rise and then they'll take a bigger chunk. So what Robert Kiyosaki also says is, you should do a job to learn. You shouldn't do a job for the money. Yeah. So moving on from that, as an employee, you're working 40 hours, 9 or 5 Monday to Friday, and with maybe 3 or 4 weeks off a year, or 6 weeks even, and weekends off as well, then generally you're going to be working the way it's designed, 8 hours and then having 8 hours off and then 8 hours sleeping. So it's like the day split, 24 hours split into a third. But what I've actually written down here is it feels more like 10 hours because you might be preparing for work in the day. You might be travelling to work as well, unless you're just working from home all the time. And the 8 hour day actually turns into more like a 10 hour day, because when you're travelling to work, I would see that as work time. Maybe others disagree, but I don't see that as leisure time travelling to work. But I suppose from the employer's point of view, it's when you clock in and when you clock out. But really, you know what I mean, don't you? It feels like 10 hours. So if it's 10 hours, where do you take it off? You either take it off, you sleep, or you can take it off, you rest. But if that were equal, that would be 8, 8, and 8. But you've got to, if you alter one column kind of thing, you alter another. So let's say it is that 8. So let's say you've got a commute each way. You're either going to take it off your sleep, or you're going to take it off your rest. So what a lot of people do is stay up late and even drink alcohol, and then they might have 10 hours up and then they've got 4 hours sleep. Or they might be late for work and then do 9.5 hours, and then because they've had an extra hour in bed, they've laid in like that, slept in. So you've got to be careful about how this balances up. But when you look at it, you're giving a big chunk of your waking hours. You're giving a good more than half of your waking hours, besides the Saturday and Sunday. But a lot of people also worry about the job in this downtime. Maybe even worry about it while they're sleeping, so they have a worse night's sleep. Worry about job cuts. Worry about, if they're working and they're going to burn out because of the increased productivity that's expected from them. Maybe somebody's left the organisation and they have to do their job at the same time as well. So they're doing their job and somebody else's job because they're struggling to recruit. So there's all kinds of pitfalls. So let's say that you are doing the 10 hours kind of thing, and then let's say that you are having 6 hours here, but you're actually getting your full 8 hours sleep, right? So that's that adds up to 24. If you want to make, say, if you're on £2,000 at the bottom of the paycheck, so to make two grand at the bottom of the paycheck, you've got to earn 2.5 grand, 3 grand at the top, because you've got the tax that comes off and everything, student loan perhaps, national insurance in this country. So if you're going to double your income, like we're talking about here, how to double your income, you're going to have to make another £3,000. So you're going to have to make £6,000 altogether to then come away with 4,000. So really, you're not just trying to make another 2,000, you're trying to make another 3,000 to end up getting another 2,000. So how does that work? So if you're an employee, what you can do is with these hours here, you can say, right, I'm not going to watch TV when I get home, so I'm going to spend 2 hours per day side hustle, and then I'm going to do that times 5, so that's 10 hours. And then you're going to try and make you're going to try and make 3 grand in 10 hours. So to make 3 grand in 10 hours, you're going to have to make 300 an hour, like that. So if you can charge that, then great. But if you can't charge that, because that's quite a substantial hourly rate, and not that I agree with charging by the hour. I think you should charge based on the value that I bring. But we're just going to break this down in terms of, okay, we're charging based on the value, but we still need to work out how many hours we're working in the business, and we're doing all the operational work, because at this point as an employee, you can't really use leverage. You could do, you could have staff, but would it really make sense to be an employee and then have employees? So let's say, what do you think you can actually realistically make per hour with a side hustle? So let's say it's 100 for now, an hour, like that. and let's say it's 150. We'll do a comparison for each one. So if it's 150, then you need to be able to do 20 hours. So that means you're working 10 hours on a Saturday as well. So 10 hours on Saturday. So you actually put in 20 hours in total. And then if you're doing 100, then you've got to do 30 hours. So 30 hours is Saturday and Sunday. And then that means you're not having a day off, which is not really good for you. So what you could do instead is say, yeah, right, well, I'm going to do 4 hours. So if we come back to this one, 4 hours a day, Monday to Friday, which is 20 hours, and then I'm going to do 10 hours on a Saturday. So you end up every day having a couple of hours before you go to bed. So you come home, do your side hustle for 4 hours, and then you'll spend a couple of hours, then you'll go to bed. Yeah, and they get you 8 hours. So based on that, you'll be doing 10 hours on Saturday, and you'll be doing 4 hours a day Monday to Friday, and you'll get your £100 an hour, and then you'll have an extra £3,000. Right. So what's the problem with that at £100 an hour? So you're going to get your £3,000, right? But let's say, so you've doubled your money, so you've hit your objective, and that's how you do it, right? And I'll talk through some ways of doing it, but then is that really sustainable? Is it sustainable to work 8 hours in your day job and then another 4 hours, 12 hours a day, and then Saturday another 10 hours? Because how many hours are you working altogether? I'm not including travelling this time. So we're saying you're going to work 8 hours day job a day plus 4 side hustle plus 10 on a Saturday. Yeah. So what we're talking here, we're talking 12 times 5, and then it's plus 10. So what we're talking 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 70 hours. That's feasible. So you could do that, right? And what you could end up doing then is just build up the money in the business, live on the wage, pocket your £2,000. But that's if your business costs nothing to run. Let's say you're working on, I don't know, a 75% profit margin, which is an extremely healthy gross profit margin. So out of every £3,000, it's going to cost you £750 to run the business. So that's a cost that's gone, and that, some money, some cash that's gone in your costs. So you're going to end up with that one, like that. So that means you're going to have to work some more hours. Now, if you ever want to potentially leave your job as an employee, then some would argue that, well, you could save 6 to 12 months and keep doing that, and do that for a while, and you could leave. But I would say once your side hustle gets to maybe double your salary, might be a good time to leave. I mean, there's others with different opinions, but I say if your side hustle was 6k, like that, because you've got to potentially be able to weather the storm as well, in case you have like any client cancellations or anything like that. So £3,000 side hustle, and then leave. Yeah, if you want to do that, or you can just carry on doing your side hustle. But working 70 hours, spinning all those plates is potentially difficult. But that's one genuine way on how to double your income, and it's not playing the lottery, and it's not gambling, and it's not doing anything risky on the stock market or anything like that, or like risky penny shares or anything. It's actually you spending time that you would otherwise have been spending on leisure activities for a while to build up some extra cash, and then you can maybe go part-time with your employment and then put more into this rate here, or you can just start to charge more and then do fewer hours. that way. And a lot of people carry on with the job, and they do this at the same time, and they're perfectly fine. So what can you do in terms of a side hustle? Well, I'll go into that now. So now I've kind of established kind of some of the figures that you could use to double your income. What can you do? So service business is a low barrier to entry, right? So what does that mean? It means like a business when you're doing something like web design or graphic design, logo design, videography, some kind of creative venture. You literally just need yourself, your knowledge, your experience, good practice, and maybe a laptop and a mobile phone, and then maybe a camera, a few lenses, some microphones, whatever it is. But you don't need that much to actually start this kind of business. It's not like starting a coffee shop where you're going to have to buy an expensive coffee machine, get some staff, unless you're going to run it all yourself, get some premises, refurbish them, pay business rates and all that kind of thing. You can literally do a service business like this from home, in your spare room or your home office. And basically, to get clients into this kind of business, you can either do outbound, organic, or ads. Now, if you're making $2,000 a month at the moment, I'm guessing that most of that is going on living expenses, with how expensive it is these days. So you're going to be time rich, as in you've got those hours after work or before work, but you're going to be cash poor. So you're not going to be able to do ads. Not yet, not for a while at least. But you are going to be able to do outbound and organic. So what I would do is I would start outreaching to businesses where you can redesign the website, you can design a new logo, or you can do graphic design, or you can do whatever your skill set is. And you can cold call, you can cold email market, you can DM on Facebook, Instagram, you can contact them on LinkedIn. Just reach out to them in some kind of way. And also organic. So that's like creating some videos on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. And the two go hand in hand. So when you cold call, somebody will look you up online and they'll see that you're a real person. But what you really need is to get some clients in and to get reviews and testimonials, because that's really going to help you getting clients. Another aspect to organic is SEO. So that's having web pages, having a website, and having traffic coming in like that. And you can do this with I've got some videos on doing SEO on my channel, so check those out. And you can do that, and you can get some clients in that way. So once you've got some clients in through your marketing, you've got them to do a call with you, they might do it over Zoom, then you can take them through the sales process. So you can find out what they need. So which problem do they need to be solved? So what problem does your website solve? Is it because the website's old and it's not really engaging with the audience anymore? So it's not working as a marketing tool for them. So then, if not, you can redesign the website, or maybe you can help them then with some SEO, like you've done for yourself. Now you're kind of skilled up on being able to do that, as long as you're good enough at it. And then once you've got sales in, you need to do the service delivery. You need to actually fulfill the order. You need to actually do what you promised to do, and that's where it gets to a point where you've got to really keep your marketing and sales going and do your service delivery as well. Now, let's fast forward to say if this really starts to work really well for you and you're too busy, right? And you're earning $6,000 on top of your job. So you're doing that 2-3 grand from your job, and you're doing so $2,000 at the bottom, $3,000 gross from your job, but this is doing you $6,000, right? Every month, consistently for 6 months. Something's got to give, right? And for me, you've got to start to hire people, and you've got to. I'd say, if you're at capacity, before you hire anybody, actually quit your own job. Because for me, hiring somebody while you've got a job just doesn't make sense, because you're going to have to manage that person as well. And you're going to have to do some service delivery yourself, because they're not going to be able to do all your service delivery one person. Not like you've been doing it anyway, because you own your business. You're a beast. You know, you're an animal in your company. So, but you're looking for somebody to save you 20 hours, something like that. They might. Your full time might be double somebody else's effort, because you're the business owner. It's probably more than that. But a member of staff you get in, at least initially, they might save you 20 hours. Yeah, they're not necessarily going to work as hard as you. So that's where, you know, you start to think, right, what am I doing that can be delegated to somebody else, that somebody else needs to be doing, because it's not really worth my time anymore. And that's where you start to outsource that. So it's not about working harder. Some people say it's about working smarter and working harder. But it's literally just about working smarter, really. I did go through a phase thinking, yeah, it's work smarter and harder, but it really is working smarter. It's leverage. So write down everything that you're doing in your business. So you get up at 6. You do some stuff. I mean, the 3 things that you're going to be doing are either these 3 things: the marketing, sales, and service delivery. That's it. Don't want to be doing any bookkeeping. Bookkeeper does that. So outsource that. You don't want to be writing your own contracts. Lawyer does that. Outsource that. Or use a website, you know, that can create contracts for you. You just want to be focusing on these things. And the thing is, because it's your company, I think that people in business who try to outsource the marketing or sales first and just do the service delivery themselves, I don't think that ever works. I think they just stay like a small company, they stay like a freelancer kind of company. Again, nothing wrong with that, but if that's what somebody wants, then that's fine. But if it's not what they want, and they're frustrated that they actually want a business, then they're going to have to just make some hard choices and come out of their comfort zone. So next, how do you actually put this all together though? So you need to have a goal, and your goal is to make another $3,000 a month. So $6,000 in total. So the plan needs to be really working backwards from that. So you can say, look, I want to do this in 12 months. But you've got to be realistic, and you've got to say, look, how much time am I willing to put into this? And if it is 4 hours a day, and it is 10 hours on a Saturday as well, then you write that in your plan and you just do the thing. And wake up in the morning, have a morning routine, do your meditation, and in your meditation, if there's any distractions coming into your mind, just ignore them, cast them away. And then if you have got a problem with procrastination, as you practice that, you build your self-discipline, and you can actually sit down at your computer and do the thing at the time that you said you were going to do it. So be super efficient. So those are the activity levels. So let's say you want to do it in 12 months. Plan it out now. You could do 12 months to 3k extra, which is more than possible. You could do it in less time than that. But you're working at the same time, so it's not like you've got all the time to get to more than that. But I think that's a reasonable kind of low ball estimate, really, to be able to do that if you put your mind to it. But and let's say you're really good at web design, for example, just to kind of specify it. You could say, look, I'm going to sell some websites for 3k each. So 3k per website. You could spend, so really you just need 12 of those. And 12 of those are 36 grand. So you just need one a month. What you could do is the start of the month when you start this, or if it's mid-month when you're watching this now, whenever it is, you start it today. Just take action, and you don't even need a website when you first start. You could do having an online presence, some videos up there, social media, but literally you get on the phone. You have a list of prospects, so you're going to call and say, well, look at your website, because it's been a while since it was updated. How do you feel about having a chat over Zoom? I'll show you what we can do. And then it's a numbers game. And there's a lot to learn in business. Don't get me wrong, it's not maybe as simple as I'm making out. You're going to have to learn sales skills, you're going to have to learn marketing, you're going to have to learn all kinds of things. But you've got to start somewhere. And then you've got to know what you're doing, maybe read some books on it, maybe watch some YouTube videos, maybe watch some of my YouTube videos. But you've got to learn the thing and then practice the thing. And then if you fall off the horse, get back on, and then carry on riding. So back to this example, 3k per website, one per month. Let's say really pessimistic, because this is one of the things that a lot of business owners get wrong. Really pessimistic on how many people you're going to have to contact, especially when you first start, especially when you might not be that good at doing marketing and sales. Let's say you're going to have to contact 300 people. This is, it's quite pessimistic, that 300 people to get a sale. So 300 people, right? 300 calls. And let's say that's going to take you. Let's say each one's going to take you 2 weeks. It's been really pessimistic, that. But that's the way to do it. A lot of people in business, they're too optimistic about the results they'll get after kind of minimal effort. But in my opinion, you need to be optimistic about the what you can achieve in a longer time horizon, but then pessimistic about kind of the minimum effort you'll need to actually do the thing. And then by doing this, you'll only ever surprise yourself, because you'll just be expecting to have to do a lot more to get the result, and then you'll be kind of managing your own expectations. So you're going to do 300 calls, and then you're going to get one sale. One sale, and that sale is £3 grand. and you're just going to do a website a month. So you're going to have your job. You're going to spend first 2 weeks of the month getting the job, and then you're going to spend last 2 weeks of the month doing the job. And I think the mistake that a lot of people make with web design is they'll charge 300 quid for the website, which is crazy. And they'll end up having to do 10 websites for the price that you can do one for. So it means that they'll have to do 10 times as many calls or they'll have to do maybe 5 times as many calls but then sell it cheap, like that. But still they'll have to do 5 times as many calls, which is 5 times the work on calls, and then 10 times as many hours on the website, which will take them longer than a month anyway. So they ended up doing $3,000 every quarter, which is $1,000 a month, essentially. So then they never leave the job, and then if they do, then they'll just replicate that inefficiency as a full-time web developer, and then end up broke. So and then the thing is, if you're gonna charge enough for your services, then let's say, right, so what's a reasonable amount of money to take out of that yourself? Let's say you're working on a 50% gross profit. You probably make more than that with web design, really. You could probably do it like 70%, maybe 60%. But let's say out of that, you're taking a wage, but then you can get somebody else to do the website. So if you just get somebody else to do the technical, so each website is going to cost you $1,500. Or if you can, but let's go with 1,000 costs, and then £2,000 profit, gross profit. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. So you're gonna have like a 60, nearly 67%, 67% gross profit, something like that, 66, 67 kind of thing. Which is good. And then that means, right, so some of that might be paying somebody to do it, and then you've got a scalable business. So rather than doing the website and spending those 2 weeks doing it, you could do another 300 calls in the other 2 weeks and be getting 2 websites in a month. So it's £3,000 times 2, like that, and then your profit on that is £4,000. And there might be some economies of scale actually, so your profit might go up a bit. So your profit might be 4,100 or something, and then as you sell more, you might have even more. So yeah, that's pretty much how the model works. Now imagine if you did that for a few months, and then you would have doubled what you're getting your wages. You're getting that from the websites, your wages, that before tax. You leave your job if you're that way inclined. If that's what you want to do. So anyway, that's how you end up being able to double your money or more, basically. But it involves learning marketing and sales. It involves making some sacrifices. It involves being more like a creator rather than a consumer. And obviously, you might have a family, so it might not be possible to do that many hours. So you might need to stick to the couple. But I'm sure there's some things that you can shave off your social life that you don't need to be doing. Maybe it's going to the pub, maybe it's drinking, maybe it's doing video games, maybe you're just watching TV. You've got to really prioritise what you want if you want to make extra money. But it's not just about the money, it's about love of the thing as well. I mean, you can't, if you do the business just for the money, then it gets kind of old fast. So if you actually love web design, you love logo design, you love videography, or you just love getting clients results, then again, that's you don't separate the two. You got to want the money as well to do the business, for sure, 100%. But you've also got to love the thing as well, and you might not love it every day, but like on average, you've got to love it more than you don't love it. Basically, the business. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. That's how you could double your income, and all you need to do really is make some sacrifices. Which, just think to yourself, is it really a sacrifice at all? So is sitting on the couch watching the TV really worth your time? And also think about what you want, and also use this method of goal. So what do you want? Another 3-6 grand a month, financial independence, more money for your family, go on nicer holidays, or go on holidays at all, because a lot of people these days, with the salary, they can't even afford to go on a holiday with the cost of living increases. And then so you do your goal, you do your plan out, you plan backwards from the date that you want to do it, from the projection, 12 months or whatever, and then you just do the activity levels. And to do the activity levels, it might be hard when you've been to work and you got to come home and do it, or you do it before work and then go to work. So get up early and get up at 5 a.m. or whatever, then do your couple of hours, and then do a couple of hours at night. So you can swing it that way, or you can do it a number of ways really. But doing the activity levels and actually sitting down takes the discipline to do it, and that's where things like meditation comes in. That's where you're actually changing your mind, to become to work more like your future self, basically. And to be honest with you, you will likely need to become another person to be able to do this, like a better version of yourself, to put it bluntly. So I hope that you found this informative. If this resonates with you, please take action and let me know how it's gone in the comments. And get in touch if you want to see about potentially me helping you with any of this, or if you want maybe a more detailed plan or something like that, then my services are for hire on a consulting basis. And you take care and like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.